The red light is on. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a special edition because the Aussie arm wrestler has declared war. You have heard that right, ladies and gentlemen. I have declared war on the great nation of Canada. Ready, bang! Now, before I explain why I have declared war, let me introduce my counterpart and the leader of Canada, this gentleman. He's actually from Minnesota. He's looking huge at the moment. In fact, he's actually just losing a lot of weight, but he is looking huge. But this guy is almost, I mean, of course, the Aussie Arm Wrestler is the #1 show going around. But this man, a very good friend of mine, but he is doing amazing things. He's collaborations with the top tier in the arm wrestling world. He's second to none. He is the leader of the PRs. If you see any elite athlete doing a PR, it is because of this man right next to me. His channel is entertaining as hell. He's been a good fan and a really good supporter of the Aussie Arm Wrestler, even though I'm about to declare war on him. Ladies and gentlemen, just give everyone a huge welcome to Uncle Jon. Uncle Jon, welcome to war.
What's up, buddy?
Now,
I'm happy to be here, man.
Oh, mate, I'm so excited to have you on, and I will have you on over and over again. Now, ladies and gentlemen, what we're happening before Uncle Jon just has a bit of a spill. I've reached out to Uncle Jon. I've declared war on Uncle Jon. I said, let's have Australia versus Canada, and we'll let the fans decide. We'll let you in the comment section decide who wins each matchup. Now, you got to understand, we're not doing super heavyweights, and we're not doing heavyweight and middleweight. We have come up with different categories, and we're going to name some pullers that will go head-to-head. Now, before we give the list of categories, Uncle Jon, just give a brief background about yourself, the arm wrestling world, and Uncle Jon. I don't want too much because I will be doing an episode in the near future in long form based on Uncle Jon.
Perfect. So, what is Uncle Jon? Uncle Jon is a character who is also me. I created him about 1.5 years ago, but I've been arm wrestling for about 10 years now. My highest accolade in arm wrestling would probably be a national championship that I won in 2016 in Canada. I pulled in
a national championship. So that's not a that's not a third place left arm amateur to 95 kilos. Ooh, national
I cannot
champion.
compete. I cannot compete. But do you have Uncle Jon's pizza flavored baked beans? Of course,
bring it over towards you more. Oh, yes.
Believe that. Believe that. This is the key. This is the key to my power is my baked beans. I'm telling you. I'm telling you. So long story short, I've been arm wrestling a very, very long time. I have a master's degree and half of a PhD. I quit my PhD halfway through in order to become a professional, quote unquote, arm wrestler / content creator. And 1.5 years later, here we are.
You've got to understand, you've got to make sure you go over and subscribe to Uncle Jon. He's sitting over about 3,000. How many are you on at the moment?
For what?
For your channel. How many subscribers?
Oh, about 3,250, I think, somewhere in there.
Yeah, that's amazing. Guys, you really need to show the support. He also sells merchandise. His shirts look cool. His channel is phenomenal. He's a national championship, which, yeah, anyway.
Hey, I got 5th place at the Arnold one time, too.
Oh, gee.
That's probably even better, to tell you the truth.
What's your favorite arm? What arm do you prefer?
I'm right-handed, but I fall into the category of weirdos who, even though they're right-handed, are much better left-handed arm wrestlers.
Yeah, guys, this will make a lot more sense when I do the full-length interview with Uncle Jon over on the Aussie Arm Wrestler channel. You have no idea how twinning Uncle Jon and I are. Like the similarities. We found that out when I was on After Dark with Uncle Jon. Once again, another great show. You got After Dark. You've got the PRs. You do a live call-in show on Arm TV every Wednesday night, guys. Go get involved in that. I keep getting in trouble at work for faking going to the toilet to try and jump in, and then I rush home from work and try and get on the end of it. But the live call-in show, he's got a partner. He does lives with Cobra Rhodes. He's got a great relationship with Cobra Rhodes. He helps Neil pick up with his technology side of things. Guys, you got to go, after you subscribe to my channel, head over to Uncle Jon. And
100%.
So the way this is going to work, ladies and gentlemen, is I'm going to go through some categories. We're going to explain why our puller or why Australia should win this one. And then Uncle Jon will rebut and say why Canada and vice versa. And there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and the main event. 9-card Super Series, Australia versus Canada. And we're going to start off with a huge matchup because Uncle Jon has just given me a great idea. Uncle Jon, I need you to get that tin of baked beans and bring it to your chest.
Right here.
Ladies and gentlemen, match number 1. What is more prestigious? Uncle Jon's pizza-flavored baked beans or the Aussie ArmWrestlers third place left-hand amateur 80 to 95 kilo 2019 Melbourne Cup trophy. Uncle Jon, tell me why the baked beans is more prestigious.
Well, let me tell you right now, not only are these things so packed with pizza flavor that you're not going to be able to handle it, but this is an actual screen-used prop from an episode of Uncle Jon's Arm Wrestling Show. So not only is it good for you, it's probably going to make you rich in a few years. This is going to be worth a lot of money, I'm telling you.
Oh, very hard. Why the fans should vote for this? Because I have had the best in the world challenge me for this. Monster, Michael Todd Hutchings, Jeff Hale, you name it, everyone is coming after it. I think Australia takes this one in round 1. But once again, guys, just keep punching out in the comments. Australia versus Canada. First round, first match, which is more prestigious? Uncle Jon's Baked Beans versus the Aussie Arm Wrestlers third place trophy.
I love it.
Next matchup. We're going to go with best karaoke. The rules of this one. Australia versus Canada has headed out for a night on the town, and there is some puller out there that feels they are just a huge belter on the microphone. They get their inner Mick Jagger, and they are flying. So I reckon in Australia, I am going with the House of Pain founder representative, Andrew Lee. If you don't notice Andrew Lee, he's a very passionate puller who's been in the sport forever. And if you go back and look at the Aussie Arm Wrestlers super match recently, he is the referee. He's the referee of everything. But this guy screams and shouts. He's sitting around the 95 kilos, about 6'3". Phenomenal puller. I'm putting him up at the table. Who's Canada got?
Now, here's my question, though, because I know there are some singers in Canada that arm wrestle, but do they have a song? Do we have a song in mind? Like, do they choose their own song, or they have to sing the same song? That's the real question.
So they can choose their own song, and then they've got to jump on the table in a best of 3. So every one of these matches, they will be arm wrestling. So you got to vote who would be best at karaoke, but then also who would win in an arm wrestling match.
All right. Now I have to think. I want to say, I don't know if we have anyone. I might have to play against the grain and completely put someone in there who I assume is a terrible singer.
Oh, Andrew Lee would be a terrible singer. I just know that if you get him wound up and everything, he would just grab the microphone up on stage. Let's go.
All right. Well, judging, I've never heard this man sing, but I would say someone who I assume could match the level of destruction achieved by Andrew Lee would probably be somebody like Matt Mask.
Oh, huge matchup. First up, that scraggly head, absolute giant unit of a man. I could see him being all chilled out at the back, and then when that particular song hits, Uncle Jon, nailed it. I could see Matt
He's
Mask going
this
just
head
right up
bobbing
to the
above
stage.
the crowd, going on. And he's gonna do like AC/DC or something like that, and it'll be righteous for sure.
Yeah, Andrew Lee's doing Cold Chisel, an Australian band over here. So that's the first match. Best karaoke. Let us know in the comments. Andrew Lee versus Matt Mask. Who would win in a karaoke battle, but then who would also win in a best of 3 super match? Fantastic. Okay, so we're going from one end to the other. Second category, ladies and gentlemen, best haircut. Now, you can look at this any which way. Australia versus Canada. You can do a clean, slick, no hair out of place. Or you've already used Matt Mask, so you can't use him. Or someone who's just got an out there hairstyle. Canada, fire away.
All right, we're going to go. I have seen this guy pull recently, and but he's much more well known for his refereeing. He's been a referee at the national level. He's refed at Worlds. We call him the Butcher, Patrick Callan. This guy's hair, I'm telling you, it's shaved on the sides, right? Shaved on the sides, slicked back with the ponytail hanging down in the back. Ooh. It is nice. It is nice. As far as haircuts go, it's very good.
See, I'm going with, when I thought of best haircut, I thought this was a haircut you could set your watch to. Not one bit of hair is out of place. And because this mythical creature has just grown and grown in stature, I'm now picturing him with a very rainbow-coloured ponytail. And I'm going the great Danny Tesh. That man does not move. It is very, you want to bring him home to meet your daughter and things like that. Doesn't say much, but his hair just does not go out of place. I don't think he can ever take a bad photo if he ever takes a photo. And he just pulls and nothing moves at all.
Now, my question for you is, I haven't seen a picture. I heard that he has long hair. But I haven't seen anything like that. Is that actually true that he has long hair now?
He's grown it out a bit. The last time I saw Danny Tesh was presidential Phil Rasmussen. He had a story and he just had his mates over having a pool, and he's very good mates with Danny Tesh. And it grew out. And it grew out. So that was the last I seen him, maybe 6 months ago.
Wow.
So if you look at WAL Danny Tesh, Arnold's beautiful, doesn't move, and now he's, apologies to all the religious people out there, but he's got that Jesus look about him. If he just grows that out, this mythical creature. So,
well, hey, it's appropriate. We're filming this on Easter, right?
Yeah,
so
it is. It'd be Easter Sunday over there for you, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. I suppose it's the day after for you.
Yeah, Easter Monday morning. That is fantastic. That is match 2, ladies and gentlemen. Bang! What a huge matchup. We've got Danny versus Patrick. Huge matchup. Who's got the best haircut? Who wins in a best of 3 matchup? It is you.
Close one.
You out there decide. Are you going with the short back and sides with a nice blondie, or you're just going the bang? The drag strip down the middle. No messing about there.
Love it.
Okay. Category 3, ladies and gentlemen. Third match on the card. Coming out of retirement. This is someone that you haven't seen pulled at least in the last 2 years. And that's pulling in a match. They can still train and everything. You might see them practice pull and things like that. I am going the Ron Weasley of arm wrestling in Australia. He's a young man. He weighs all of 50-something. He is strong. His name is Jesse Johnson.
Jesse Johnson.
He's the original OG, red-headed man. I remember seeing him at 2019 Arnold's. He hasn't pulled in ages, but, he's 5'10", 6 foot. No ounce of fat on him, but he's just lean. And he was just holding dudes that could deadlift 250 kilos and just making sure, stonewalled them, made sure they couldn't move. The guy is fantastic. And I am gagging for him to get back on the table and compete. Who has Canada got?
So there's a couple things with Canada. Number one, because I was going back in my mind, we have like a Hall of Fame in Canada, right? And every year at Nationals, they have all these banners that are listed, and they printed the pictures of people on these banners. They're really, really cool. And I was just thinking, and I'm like, still pulling, still pulling, still pulling, still pulling, still pulling. Like they're all still pulling. So I think it comes down to two. And one, I think we disqualify because I think he has had a match in the last year. But of course, I think we all like to see Crazy George, the King, pull more.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
He's one. I think he did have a match last year. And even though I know he's probably not going to go back up to the tippy top where he's been, but I think he can still be extremely dangerous. So that would be like choice number one. But realistically, there's another guy who was so dominant in his time back in the like late 80s and early 90s. His name is Dave Hicks.
Yes.
He's been a referee for a bazillion years, but he would go over to Russia to the Golden Bear tournaments, and he would destroy everyone. And so, when Hicks goes back there, like these people from the Russia era, they know him still, right? Yeah. And he's like a god among men over there. So I would love to see Hicksy hit it up again. I haven't seen him pull in a very long time.
Wow, you are bringing the heavy artillery. I thought I could get the jump on you and Australia would just go bang and steamroll all over Canada. But my Commonwealth brother has just pulled out some heavy artillery. You remind me of Jesse Ventura in Predator with the Gatling gun. Look at that. Yeah. Like that, because mine's a bad gun. I can't make awesome machine gun noises. So that's a very, very good choice. Guys, as always, let Uncle Jon and myself know in the comments. I will jump in the comments when the video is, and I'll give you all my winners. Australia wins 8-0, but I'll give you proper wins. Okay, we're going miniature size. We're going the under 6 foot competition. We are going under 6 foot. Obviously, for this one to qualify, you have to be under 6 foot, including wearing shoes. As a basketball fan and a former basketball player, I used to always try and wear thick soles. That was the one thing I wanted as a guard, was to be 6 foot tall. I'm 5'10.5". Uncle Jon, how tall are you?
5'10.5". Same.
Guys, I really can't wait to do the long form of this show. You've got no idea the similarities. And I knew you were 5'10.5". That's why I asked. Yeah. But we're ruled out of this one. We can't pick ourselves. Uncle Jon, fire away. Who is a pocket rocket over in Canada?
We do have a few of those. There's a few names that I could pick, but one of my favorites is a guy that I've never actually pulled him. He's a super lightweight. I don't know. He's probably 54, if not lighter. Maybe he's heavier now because he's a power lifter. Breaks all sorts of records based on his weight. And he's from Alberta, I believe. His name is Steph Hero. And this guy, I'm telling you, he can't be more than maybe 5'6", but he will put a hurting on you. Like he's like 140, 150 pounds, and his arm is just as big and 3 times more shredded than mine is. Like, he's just one of those dudes. He will put you in a bad position real quick.
This is just getting a bit out of control. Uncle Jon, bang! Wow! Well, I am heading to the north of the country in a beautiful Brisbane Gold Coast area. And I know Blue Bowen's been trying to get this guy a lightweight match, WAL Arm Wars.
Oh, yeah.
This guy is fantastic. And that's Sam Burnett. Sam Burnett is a phenomenal puller. Apologies, Sam. I'm trying to go off the last time we're having a chat in December, and I reckon we're eye level. So if you're over 6 foot, I might lose this on disqualification, but I'm guessing you're under 6 foot. Let me know in the comments, Sam. He's a huge supporter of the Aussie Arm Wrestler. Let me know in the comments, because if you're over 6 foot, I automatically lose this round, which is no good for Australia. But I believe he's just under 6 foot. But the guy,
what's his weight?
Pure hand. He's just all. The guy's strong, knows how to arm wrestle, but he's just all hand, and I can't wait for borders to open up and he can get over there. And the scary thing is, and I'm not sure if you know Uncle Jon, He's got two younger brothers. I think one of them just turned 18, Nick, and a younger brother named Josh, and I think he's only 16. But, man, just go look them up. All strong. All strong.
Yeah.
And then if you wait 30 years when they all have kids,
could be another batch. How heavy is Sam? Do you know how heavy Sam is?
Oh, he's definitely lightweight. I reckon.
Yeah.
He likes to sit around the 70 to 80 kilo area, but if need be, could easily get under 70, I believe. I'm just going to throw a dart in the middle and just say 75, around there.
That might be an actual good match. That might be like the first actual good match. Steph Hero and Sam Burnett. Because Steph is all boom, he's bringing you down into a hook, and Sam likes that kind of weird, goofy, like hooking King's move thing.
Yeah.
That could be very interesting, actually.
He's trying to invent a move there, that King's hook.
Yeah.
I think it's coming.
Yep.
It's
love it.
What do you think of that? What do you think of the King's hook?
I do what you got to do, man. That's what I'm like.
Yeah.
As long as it's within the rules. It's not the fault of the arm wrestler. It's the fault of the people who, one, created the rules, or two, are enforcing the rules. As long as those two things happen, it's not a problem.
Preach, Uncle Jon. That's why I've got him on. Uncle Jon's done videos on the rules and everything, and it just makes perfect sense. Everyone that hates on the rules, just shut up. Or I tell people, run yourself a tournament and say no King's move.
There you go.
The first person to have a no King's move tournament. It's bad for the sport. Well, you run a tournament, big shot. It's hard work.
Yes, indeed.
But, okay. So that's actually, Steph versus Sam in the under 6 foot division. Bang. That'll be unreal. Okay, next match. Most likely to get too drunk on a night out. Now, I've got two pullers. One puller from New South Wales, he's in Melbourne at the moment, is Mario Tambakis. This guy, not only does he love to have a beverage, loves to have a drink, but will make sure everyone else is drinking and be that guy to go, finish. Just a great, a phenomenal puller. He had a great super match the other day. I remember being up there in Queensland hosting an event. And, he made sure no one was empty-handed. And he can just go. But I can almost see, if people are running with him, I can just see him going from 0 to 100, and then we're carrying him out. That's one. I've got another one. Bit of a lesser-known puller. He's from Western Australia. He's from the west side of the country, and his name's Brock Lewis. Now, I've never gone out and had a beer with him, but this guy's he's a bit of a powerlifter. He's got a powerlifting background. Really loves the sport, but he does night shift. He's got kids. He's got a beautiful partner. So I can see it being, all right, Brock, you've got the weekend to do what you want arm wrestling. And I can just see him going bang and just, taking advantage of the weekend, and he's draping all over you. I could be wrong. Brock might get in the comments and go, I don't drink, mate. And then once again, I'm disqualified again. But one of those two I would be putting on the table. Who's Canada got?
Yeah. Well, look, Canada has a long line of great drinkers, right? There's a lot of guys that could fit this role. But really, when you look at it, there's only one name at the end of the day. And if you disagree with it, you're simply wrong. Yeah. And that name is Evan Burgoyne.
Thank you. That was 100%. Why this category was brought in. I was glad. I would have been very disappointed, and I probably would have automatically disqualified you from this round if that name wasn't mentioned. Uncle Jon, tell everyone what happened New Year's Eve.
Well, you see, Evan Burgoyne is a man I've known for quite a while. I've known him. I first pulled him like 2 years into my career. So we've been pulled each other like 8 years ago. And every time I've ever seen Evan, ever in the history of time, the man is with drink. Right? Varying levels. So I thought we did the big New Year's Eve live thing, the 24-hour thing on ArmTV. And I was like, you know what? We got to have Evan Burgoyne on. And the time, like having Evan on is good. Evan's very smart, very good arm wrestler. But having Evan Burgoyne on at 2:00 in the morning on New Year's Eve, that, on the other hand, may have been ill-advised, let's say, just slightly. So it was quite colorful. You can still see those, I'm sure, if you go back in time and check those out on Arm TV. But Evan Burgoyne, well, this might be the problem, though, because you did say who would drink too much. I don't know if it's possible for him to find that level.
Oh, I reckon if there was a competition, I reckon if we all got together and went, all right, Evan. Because he's a competitive guy. He's a competitive guy. And like you said, he is a very good arm wrestler. And he's a funny dude. I've had a few chats with him. And his banter game's strong. I quite enjoy Evan. But if you went to him and tapped him on the shoulder and went, right, it's us versus Australia. Who can drink the most?
Right.
And get carried out of here, he'd be shotgunning everything.
It would be so much. It would be a absolute nonsense disaster, and he would likely bring his brothers with him, which means there would be fighting happening and all manner of insanity. I would love to be there to see it. I would pay money to see it for sure.
I tell you what, because Evan is so strong, this is a handicap match. I'm calling this a handicap match. You are going to take on Brock Lewis and Mario Tambarkas in this one. Let us know who wins this one. Is Evan just that strong in the drinking game and on the table that he just wins this hand? He just big shows everyone and choke slams Australia? Or do Mario and Brock come in and go bang, Chinkero, double chair shot? It's just got to go from there. That will be a very interesting one for there. Quick side track question as we go into the semi-main and main event. Do Canadians drink Canadian Club?
I have in the past. I don't know if other people do. Like, I'm not a big drinker, right? I don't really drink. I drank in my 20s. I drank enough in my 20s to figure it all out, right? I don't like, and it's not like I made a decision. I'm just like, I don't really like it anymore. It hurts me too bad the next day. And so I don't really do it anymore, but I have had a bit of that. But I don't know if it's ubiquitous within Canada or if it was something else, because Canadians really like to know, like, is it because it says Canadian, is it really, really Canadian, or is somebody trying to advertise it as being Canadian? And I don't know the answer to that.
Yeah.
But if they get wind that it wasn't actually made there, forget it. Ain't happening.
I find it so interesting because every time, so like there's Canadian Club and we froth it over here. Canadian Club and Dry, we guzzle it. Stone Cold Steve Austin, throw them here, bang. We're all over it. But people in Canada aren't drinking it. And it's the same every time, like I'll tell people, hey, I'm going to have a beer on the show, have a beer with me. They're always like, couldn't find any Fosters. Now, people drink, we send Fosters overseas because we don't drink it here. That is garbage piss. I would rather Uncle Jon piss in an ashtray, leave it there for 4 or 5 days. We tip it in the bin, leave it out in the sun, let some veggies just melt in it, and I would rather have a shot at that than drink Fosters in Australia. Fosters on tap over there, it's actually not too bad. But yeah, I had the Canadians drink Canadian Club. No, we have in the past. That's
yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Oh, actually, no. We've got three more matches. We're in our semi-main event. Next one, best beard. And I had to go with most likely to get too drunk first because I didn't want you to waste Evan Burgoyne on best beard because he has...
Right.
So now I did that strategically to help you out, Uncle Jon. I am going, and a bit of an exclusive, later on today, and what will be happening on the Aussie Arm Wrestler channel is I will be having a reply to who is #1 in Australia from my nomination from Best Beard from Ben Carroll. Ben Carroll will be on the Aussie Arm Wrestler podcast. I'm filming that later on today, so hopefully in about 24 hours, ladies and gentlemen, that interview will be on. But I am nominating Ben Carroll, and I have recently been looking at the evolution of Ben's beard and watching it, and it's coming into a... Now, I'll be shuddered when I call him later and he's got rid of the beard, but the last few photos, it is thick, full, one-coloured. It's got to be Manscaped, and it's not the long Michael Todd one, but it packs a punch.
The girth of it.
Yeah, absolutely.
I've taken note. Yeah.
Who's bearding up in Canada?
Well, so I was just trying to think, but kind of my option number 2 I already kind of used too, because option number 1 would obviously be Evan again. Option number 2 might be Crazy George, because he's got quite the scraggle box going on there. And I'm just trying to think of who the heck else has weird facial hair or like facial hair at all. We have some goatees.
Has anyone... You can even nominate someone that you can just see that they've been really trying for a while to get something, and a cat could lick it off.
I believe... Okay, I got it, I think. The most recent pictures I've seen of someone who is also a very, very decent arm wrestler. His name is Joe Gould. You probably know him. He's Mike Gould's brother. Yeah. So Joe Gould is a 240-ish, 2 pounds powerhouse. He's one of those guys who's very unassuming. You look at Joe Gould and you just be like, okay, he's like a dude. You wouldn't imagine anything. But like left-handed especially, that guy will ruin your day real quick. And I'm pretty sure the last pictures I saw of him, it was a full like he's got a chin on his chin kind of thing going on. So hopefully I'm accurate in that. I think the last photo I saw of him on Facebook, he had quite the beard going. So I'll go with Joe Gould. I'm very confident with that.
The picture we'll be putting up, we'll find an old photo, even if it's not now. But that's Joe Gould, Ben Carroll, guys. Let us know in the comments for every single match. Myself and Uncle John will be putting our predictions in there. Now we're into the semi-main event, and it is a no disqualification match. The rules for this match is who is the person that would cheat the most in a setup and get away with it. They're fiddling, they're farting, they're distracting the referee, they're pointing there. The other person is always doing the wrong thing. Uncle John, who are you sending into battle?
Well, there's a lot of guys. Again, there's a lot of guys who are sneaky. I consider myself a pretty heavy cheater as well. It gets the job done. But I think when it comes down to it, this is very similar to the Evan being the biggest beer drinker. It's hard to look past a guy like Devin Larratt when it comes to guys who cheat, guys who manipulate, guys who will do what they need to do in the setup in order to set the tone. And this is happening already. He's already picking at Michael Todd in his videos, right? It's already started. The cheating has already begun, and we still got another, 2 months before the match even happens. So I would have to go with Devin as the cheater extraordinaire.
Huge. You bringing the big guns for the main event. Well, I'm calling it ambush, Uncle John. I'm calling it ambush in this war because I am nominating the nation of Australia. We are huge cheaters. We fiddle and fart around like we're a 13-year-old trying to undo a bra. No idea what we're doing. We're twitching and moving around. I am ambushing you, Uncle John. It is Australia versus Devin Larratt.
I'm okay with that, actually.
And
I'm okay with that match.
Even hide it, Uncle John. We don't even hide it. We're always just trying to get some sort of advantage. And then if we get caught, we get angry. Then if the opponent on the other side of the table is doing the exact same thing I'm doing and doesn't get caught, we get angry then. We get so annoyed. Yeah. So I'm calling an ambush on you because I'm declaring war and you've given me the perfect nomination. Let us know in the comments, Australia versus Devin Larratt.
I got $50 on Devin for anybody that wants some of that smoke.
He did when Devin came over 2019 and, he just, that guy's endurance, he just trains and king of the table and just
amazing.
Lets you get in the best position and pulls and things like that. And it's because of things like that, the Devon Michael Todd match. You know, Michael Todd's just that press he was doing on Todd Hutchins. And this is a story for another video. But yeah, you lean over and it's like Michael Todd, and then it's like Devon's Devon. And I think I've changed my mind at least 700 times. And it'll change another 700 times who I think will win that match.
Yeah, for sure.
Now, this is the one you've been waiting for. The main event.
The money match. This is the big one. The one they've all come to see.
That's right. This is the one that sells tickets. This is the one where Bruce Buffer even teams up with his brother. And they're both saying, let's get it a Rumble. Fighting out of everyone's. This would sell out the MCG, Madison Square Garden, Air Canada Centre. It will sell out the entire world. You think pay-per-view for Michael Todd, Devon Larratt, this match in the main event would absolutely sell worldwide. It'd be bigger than Live Aid. I've said it. It is out there. It would just be worldwide, and any person in the world that would be crying for any sort of reason, their tears would be gone knowing this match would happen. Representing Australia, the Aussie ArmWrestler. The Aussie ArmWrestler. I am going to fly the flag and go in strong. I've declared war, and you need a general sergeant or a sergeant general or a lieutenant, whatever the highest ranking is.
Got to lead the troops.
That's right. Uncle Jon from Canada, who's leading the troops in the main event?
Well, I think I've put myself in the position to say, I think Uncle Jon needs to carry the flag.
Yes!
I'm an adopted Canadian. I love Canada. I've embraced Canada for 7 years now, and I am happy. I'm happy to go headlong into battle with Australia.
Woo! Now, that's why it is selling everything out. The Aussie ArmWrestler versus Uncle Jon, the leaders of the nation, just with the flag and a machine gun coming in head-to-head. If I was any good at computer stuff, that would be the thumbnail, but I am disgusting, so it would just be a terrible thumbnail. But that is the main event, ladies and gentlemen. A quick background, Uncle Jon's been pulling for 8 to 10 years for a national champion, but
you do have the trophy. That is true.
The trophy. I reckon I've gone backwards. I had a year off. I've been pulling for about 2 years, but head-to-head, that's the way we're going. That is unbelievable, guys. As we wrap it up, Uncle Jon, you know I always appreciate your time. I just love what you're doing.
Happy to be here.
I collaborate with you every single day, but unfortunately you collaborate with every single person in the world. And I joke about that, ladies and gentlemen, that you're watching, but you have to understand, when you go over and pin the subscribe button on the Uncle Jon Show, you'll just understand, and if this video doesn't show you why, you'll go over and check out his channel and you'll understand why everyone wants a slice of the Uncle Jon pie. It is unbelievable. Uncle Jon, tell everyone where they can find anything and everything of yours.
Look, just head over to Uncle Jon's Arm Wrestling Show. Type it in your YouTube search. It will now pop up for sure. You can also catch me on Facebook, Instagram. I think I have a TikTok still. I don't really do too much on there. But really, Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, that's where most everything happens for everything Uncle Jon related. New shows Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays every single week. And, fingers crossed, we might actually have some arm wrestling to put on the channel in the near future. We got provincials coming up May 8th. We've got interviews. We've got contests for arm PR. I'm just trying to do as much as humanly possible. So come hang out.
Fantastic. Guys, make sure you go over. First of all, you're on the Australian Arm Wrestling Federation channel, so I hope you're already subscribed. Head over to Uncle Jon's and just give all the support you can. He's doing amazing things, and I just can't wait to get over to Canada, have a beer, and commentate some matches with you and some table
it's going to be good.
Then, if you guys have any energy left in your clicking finger, head over to the Aussie Arm Wrestler. Do everything you can to support it. Uncle Jon, really appreciate your time. Thanks for coming on.
Thanks for having me, man. Anytime. Pleasure to do it. Go and subscribe to Aussie Arm Wrestler right now. This is a golden era of arm wrestling content, and there's so much good stuff out there. You gotta understand the web, because things happen over here, but everything is connected, and the only way to get connected is to subscribe to them all.
My man, we will check you all next time, guys. We'll see you soon.